Travel ban the कोई idea कि
how long?
Yeah, how long?
Time in Canadian history. Truck drivers are welcome. Come one.
Yeah, go back वाले apply नहीं कर सकते.
Not through the programs we were just discussing. अगर तुसी इंडिया चो आए हो, India is getting through big problems right now. Yeah. Major issues. Pakistan major issues.
PIP करिए या IELTS करिए. ਹੈਲੋ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਮੈਂ ਜੀ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਕੋੜਵਾ ਤੇ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੋਂ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਇੰਸਟਾਗ੍ਰam ਸਟੋਰੀ ਵੀ ਪਾਈ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਓ। ਤੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਟੂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਵਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੀਆਰ ਵਾਲਾ ਪਾਥਵੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਆ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਚ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਪੀਆਰ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਪੀਆਰ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਸਕੋਪ ਆ, ਪੀਆਰ ਹੋ ਜੂਗੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੈ ਪੀਆਰ ਲਈ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਵਾਲੇ ਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਫਾਈਲ। ਏਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਚੱਲੇ ਆ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਆਮਿਰ ਅਖਤਰ ਜੀ ਕੋਲੇ, ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲਿਸਟ ਆ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਦੀਦੀ ਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਮਿਲੇ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੀਆਰ ਦੀ ਫਾਈਲ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਲਵਾਉਣੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੀਦੀ ਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਮਿਲੇ ਸੀ, ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੇ ਹੀ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਤੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਵੀਡੀਓ, 15 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਹੈ, ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗੀਆਂ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਬੋਲਣੇ ਦਾ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਹੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗਿਆ, ਪੂਰਾ ਨੌਲੇਜੇਬਲ ਆ। ਤੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਪੂਰੀ ਐਂਡ ਤੱਕ ਦੇਖਿਓ। ਵੀਡੀਓ ਮੇ ਵੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਚ ਹੋਏ ਪਰ ਫੁੱਲ ਆਫ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦਾ। ਤੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਐਂਡ ਤੱਕ ਦੇਖਿਓ ਤੇ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਆਫਿਸ ਚ। ਚਲੋ ਜੀ। ਹੈਲੋ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਮੈਂ ਜੀ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਕੋੜਵਾ ਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਟੂ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਤੇ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਵੀ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ। ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਆਪਾਂ ਆ ਗਏ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਬਣਾਉਣ। ਨਾਲ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਮਿਰ ਅਖਤਰ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲਿਸਟ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਬਾਕੀ ਦੀ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਆਪੇ ਦੇਣਗੇ। ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਸੋ
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ। Thank you very much for reaching out and having this program with us here today. My name is Amir Akhtar, as I was just introduced lovely by my friend here. 15 years of experience in the immigration world. I've started off in this profession before I had white hair like you're looking at today. Dealt with many applications, probably over 2,000 applications have been submitted to Immigration Canada and processed through this firm, through this office, and with my very own hands prior to having staff and this office and all of that. We were dealing with all of these things on our own. Today, immigration is doing a lot of great things. We've been in sort of an immigration bubble for the last little while, or I would say a rebound. A lot of people have been having problems, a lot of issues. Immigrants can't get into the country. People have been banned from entering the country. Immigration has been curbsiding programs over the last 10 years. International students have been coming to this country with many prospects, with so much hope and joy. And a while ago within the Conservative government, we found that they changed a lot of the programming and stuff like that for over to the express entry system, which locked out a lot of people from being able to attain their immigration goals. But today new things are happening. Great things are happening in the immigration segue, and that's what we're going to be talking about.
ਸੋ ਹੁਣੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ CRS ਸਕੋਰ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਜੀ ਲਾਈਕ 2 months ago ਬਹੁਤ ਥੱਲੇ ਚਲ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਹਨਾ ਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਜਣੇ ਪੀਆਰ ਕੀਤੇ, ਕਾਫੀ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਉਹਨੇ ਚੱਕ ਲਿਆ। ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਵਾਪਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਰੂਲਸ ਆ ਗਏ ਪੀਆਰ ਦੇ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ, ਸੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਸਾਰੀ ਕੀ ਆ। ਐਂਡ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਇਨ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਪੀਆਰ ਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਰੂਲਸ ਕੁਝ ਏਦਾਂ ਆ ਸਕਦਾ, ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮਸ ਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ?
Well, here's the problem. Well, look, if you want to ask me my personal opinion, I can't say off the record because we got the filming going, but if you want to ask me my personal opinion on where immigration is trending today, and it hurts me to say this, I mean, I don't want to get too on my glory horn here, but I mean, obviously, we all have different opinions. If I were in office right now, would I be doing something different with the immigration system, different than our current minister standing right now? Although I'm thankful to him for this new pathway program, which we're going to get into in a second. The issue right now with immigration is this pandemic, right? And people coming into the country is scared. We have a social healthcare system. Our healthcare system is getting overly burdened, and the governments are scared right now to just have vast amounts of people entering the country. In terms of the permanent residence process, what I see Immigration Canada doing to get their numbers up is looking to within Canada, right? Looking to our communities, our immigrant communities who are in Canada who have been struggling to get their statuses up until today, and they're looking to regulate them as quickly as possible to bring up the immigration numbers. That's how I see the trend of immigration going over the next little while, looking at the pandemic and the current numbers and what's going on out there in society. And I mean, this new international pathway stream is pretty much evident of the fact that it looks like the minister is saying, let's stop looking to bringing the people into the country, landing them for permanent residence when we have such a vast amount of immigrant community in the country who is looking to regulate their status.
Okay, so before we talk about that pathway, मैं एक जिਵੇਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ viewers ਆ ਸਮਾਂ in Vancouver ਉੱਥੇ ਆ, so ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੇਖਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ if you are going to some immigration specialist, immigration consultant, ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ because there is lot of fraud. Fraud ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੈ.
Look, here's the thing. It's like if a lot of viewers are calling me right now and contact me since we started this post, how can I come to work in Canada? Can you arrange my job? No legal professional should be arranging jobs in the country of Canada. For a fee, that's a big no-no, right? People should not be charging you to go and work for somebody. That's something you should take as a red flag. If you're calling an immigration firm seeking their advice on how should I be getting a job, they're not job agencies. They're not the ones who are there to get you the job. What they're there to do is assist you through and navigate you through the immigration pathway itself. Now, professionals can assist employers in attaining valid labor market impact assessments. And LMIA, just to give you a quick briefing, what a labor market impact assessment is. It is a document that is issued by Employment Social Development Canada after reviewing the employer's need to take away a job from a permanent resident or Canadian citizen and give that job to an immigrant, which is why they call it a labor market impact assessment. What they have to assess is how will the employer impact the labor market against a Canadian citizen or permanent resident competing for a job where the need is that there is no Canadian citizen and permanent resident competing for that specific job category, which is why they take an immigrant to fulfill that labor shortage, which there is a demand for it. Don't get me wrong, not as much so in the province of Ontario, except for the northern side, but there is a huge need for it in the Atlantic provinces, and there are vast amounts of programs that have been available, and there are approved employers out there. And I'll tell you, most of the time the employer seeks out the immigrant applicant themselves, and those are genuine offers in my opinion.
Let's talk about
I just cut you off for one quick second. The other thing is, if somebody has a valid LMIA, that means they have an LMIA file number. Look to that file number, contact ESDC, ensure that file number is an active file number. My sincere apologies.
So pathway ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੌਣ ਪੀਆਰ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਕਾਫੀ ਪੀਆਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਕਈਆਂ ਦੇ ਡਾਊਟ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਚ ਭਰ ਜੂਗੀ 2 ਘੰਟੇ ਚ ਭਰ ਜੂਗੀ ਸੋ ਸਾਰੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸੋ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੈ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਪਾਥਵੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕੀ
So this is a brand new program that's just been released by the Ministry of Immigration, Immigration, Refugee Citizenship Canada, as they now call themselves. It is a pathway stream to grant 90,000 applicants their permanent residence who are already within Canada. This will not be a program that will assist anybody internationally. You must have been in Canada with valid status at the time your application will be processed. The application pool, I'm going to call it a pool. We don't exactly know, is this going to be a pool, how it's going to unfold, the applications, everything is going to start May 6th. No professional actually knows how the program is going to unfold until May 6th, according to the policy.
So, ਅਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਾਉਣੀ ਆ, ਹੈ ਨਾ?
How it's going to unfold, right? Yeah.
So, May 6th ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਚੱਲੇਗਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ IRCC ਨੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ?
Correct.
So, ਉਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਦੱਸਣਗੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਐਪਲੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਾਣੀ ਆ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਚ ਪੀਆਰ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ 40,000 ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ 30,000 different ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ
Yeah, so here's the other little trick to that. It is 90,000 applicants, but they're in designated fields. So the program has been unleashed into 6 separate categories, right? And the first category, and I'm going to speak mainly about the first 3 categories, and we can get into the other ones, but for your viewership,
it's total 6 categories.
Total 6 categories, correct.
Okay, mainu 3 nahi pata si tak. So it's 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So categories.
So let's focus on the first 3. Number 1 being in-demand workers in the healthcare profession. Second, in-demand occupations, right? And they've separated it by 2 annexes. They're calling it Annex A and Annex B. Annex A being the health professionals, Annex B being the needed workers, categorized workers that Immigration Canada felt is currently needed within the land of Canada. The third major stream, and within those 2, the Annex A occupations being the healthcare occupations, they're going to accept 30,000 applicants in that, okay, in that section itself, okay. Aside from that, in the Annex B occupation, in-demand occupations, they're going to accept a total max of 20,000 applications in that stream, okay. Aside from that, you're going to have the international graduate stream, which is an amazing stream, and I want to get into speaking about exactly how that's going to work, because it's going to help a lot of international graduates.
Viewers interest because we don't need anything. Bas apna English test hue and you can just apply.
That's the beauty of the program, and I was actually shocked when I read I had to read it 10 times to believe it.
Me too. मैं सवेरे देखी story किसे मेरे friend ने पाई थी, and मैं believe नहीं किया. जो मैं evening च वापस मैंने किसी का call आया कि सच्ची है भाई. फिर मैं नाल दी नाल IELTS book किया, अपना selfie book किया. Smart,
you did a very smart thing, and we're going to speak about that to your viewers today, because that's going to be something that everybody is going to run after right now. So with the international student graduate stream, they're going to accept 40,000 applications. Now let's just back up 1 second. This is going to start May 6th.
May 6th.
Okay, it's going to open up May 6th and it's going to close November. Okay. Now you made a very interesting point. Is this going to all block up the very first day?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't know. सानू पता नहीं कि पता उन्होंने कोई ऐदा करन कि only 10,000 can apply on one first day, 10,000 on second, third, or कुछ ऐदा होए, because
it's a maximum. All the policy guidelines are telling us right now it's a maximum of 40,000 through the international graduate stream, right? How quickly it's going to fill up, it's a first come first basis. Now these are few things that you can think about. Now number 1, let's just get into the number 1. You had to have completed your studies on or after January 2017. You had to have attained your diploma on or after January 2017 in order to be eligible. It must have been from a designated learning institution that it was qualified to issue a postgraduate work permit by the end of it.
So January 2017 to baad da hona chahiye and DLI hona chahiye jehda unna kol jo bhi college hai, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And you need to be on a work permit and currently employed. Now, employment does not have to be a designated role. From what I've seen in the policy manuals and what I've seen in their intergovernmental policy, and again, that was another thing that I had to look at more than once to believe it myself before I can even advise the public.
ऐदा कुछ आज तो पहला कदे होया नहीं कि they are not asking for कि नौकरी दी जॉब होनी चाहिए, कुछ नहीं पूछा उन्होंने.
And this has been a huge concern that you need 1,565 hours worth of work experience within a specific...
Nothing, no experience we need.
So, well, it's not that no experience, but you have to be employed by an employer. You have to be able to show proof of that, right? Whether it's going to be your notice of assessment or a job letter, original job letter, you're going to have to show proof that you are employed. There is no 1,565 hours as if you had to have been working for 1 year before you can apply. It's strictly that you've graduated on or after, January 2017. You have a valid work permit, right? You cannot be inadmissible to Canada. But if you're on a valid work permit and you graduated, you're not inadmissible. Now, that's another thing too, where a lot of people are probably wondering who may have lost their status, didn't complete their studies, or may have completed their studies with a break, but they weren't able to get a work permit. If you were inadmissible or unable to qualify for a work permit, you will not qualify under this stream.
Yeah, and the question is that we study khatam hui hai and aaj work permit nahi aaya, so they can't apply.
You're not eligible.
One more thing, ਤੁਸੀਂ employment ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮੰਨ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਜੌਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ, but ਮੈਂ May 1st ਨੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜੌਬ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. I get employed, so can I apply?
Interesting question. if you're going to put me on the spot right now, and I'm going to have to give you advice right now, according to the policy and what I've seen, there has been no time period designated and required, nor does it require you to have that job on your notice of assessment, nor does it require you to have had to have paid tax on that job at that moment. The way the policy reads and the way I've seen it, I would say even if you were employed May 5th with a job letter.
Because उन्होंने बस यही किया कि at the time of application थोड़ा होना चाहिए.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So next question अपना जेड़ा essential workers वाला है. Essential workers कितने बंदे करने हैं उन्होंने?
They are accepting 20,000 applicants
20,000
under the essential workers stream.
And कुछ पता है थोनों की main works ने की.
So from what I'm seeing, it's trades. It's in what they're looking for is in the main things: construction trades, transportation trades, electrical trades, plumbing trades. They're highly looking into the demand occupation of trades. There are other ones there. I would invite you to go onto the CIC website, put in the new interim pathway program that's in the policy guidelines. You're looking for Annex A and B, and if you're looking through this category specifically, it would be Annex B to go through all of the occupations. But the major things they're looking at are the trades. That's what I've seen.
So many of my viewers are agent drivers, truck drive करते हैं, so they can apply in essential.
One time in Canadian history, truck drivers are welcome. Come one, come all. If you've been driving through the land and you've been I mean, look, to truth be told, I don't understand why the truck drivers haven't gotten PR before. You're the ones running our economy. You're the ones that are transporting our goods from one end of the country to the other side of the country. And today, finally, and being from a family who's been in transport, my father's been in transport all his life. I mean, so obviously I can relate
most
to that.
Most of the Punjabi apne transport business. And one more thing, jada essential do we need experience in essential?
1,565 hours
okay.
of continuous employment. So you need 12 months employment within that stream for the 1,565 hours to qualify prior to the date of application on May 5th.
So एक और question है काफी जने जिन्हों को जेडे essentials भी ला सकते हैं file and they can apply in जेड़ा अपना student program भी हैगा. So can they apply in both of them the same time the दोनों file?
Again, if you're going to put me on the spot right here right now, my advice to you as of right now, if you qualified, like let's just suggest you completed your education, January 2017, you have a diploma in hand, you went and you started driving a truck and you've been driving the truck for so long, and you qualify under both streams, my advice would be to pick one and go with that. Concurrent applications are allowed according to the law. Dual applications are not, right? The way I see the program is this is going to be a broad one category program that branches off into select different sides of it. So if you're going to put yourself into two categories, it will only be one that's accepted. And if you have the international graduate stream behind you, the 40,000 applicants are going to be accepted there. My advice would be is to go and run and put it through that stream.
So one of my friend, उन्हें अपनी PR apply की थी last year January. हजे तक कोई result नहीं आया था. उधर बाद उधर friends ने apply किया, मतलब वो invitation आ गया सी सारा कुछ documentation भेजी हुई है, कोई मतलब result नहीं आया. So he was asking कि मैं ऐसे चलास करना, मतलब उधर नाल मेरी वो file लगी हुई है.
So
can I apply in this one?
You're basically telling me कि ये बंदा जो हैगा, he was accepted through the express entry system, he got an ITA. This is a separate program. So the way the Immigration Refugee Protection Act reads, concurrent applications are allowed, meaning two separate applications. So if he wants to apply through this, legally speaking, I can't see anything stopping him.
So मतलब apply कर सकता है जिन्हें पहला भी PR लाई हुई है,
I think they can, yes. Yes.
Okay.
That would be my opinion. Yes, I think they can.
Okay. So ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਥੋੜੇ questions read ਕਰ ਲੈਣੇ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜੋ pathway ਹੈ?
Well, international students especially, and even everybody else, one thing I want you guys to know, start planning now. Obviously, I would advise take legal representation, right? It may be a very complex program to navigate through. It's going to be a time condensed program to get through. As of right now, what you can do to help yourself, book your English examination, whether it's IELTS, CELPIP, whatever Immigration Canada is allowing.
All websites are crashed.
I know.
IELTS ਦੀ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ
I know.
ਮੈਂ 2 ਦਿਨ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਰਾਤੀ ਮੇਰਾ 3:30 ਤੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਸਿਸਟਰ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਟੈਸਟ ਬੁੱਕ ਕੀਤਾ ਰਾਤੀ ਸੋ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਾਈਟ ਸਾਰੀ ਕ੍ਰੈਸ਼ ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਡੇਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਮੇਬੀ ਜੂਨ ਚ ਡੇਟ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਲੇਟੈਸਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਡੇਟ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ IELTS ਜਾਂ SELP ਜੂਨ ਚ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਥਰਡ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ PTE ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਯੂ نو PTE
This sounds like a phrase that's not really used in the legal side of the world. Explain it to me.
PTE भी अपना टेस्ट ही है जिन्हें IELTS ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ SELP ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਚ ਆਪਣੇ PTE ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ
PTE is not accepted by Immigration Canada.
Okay.
I've never heard the term PTE from a Canadian immigration perspective. And I have been getting a lot of comments on that through the Instagram page about PTE. That is not an accepted program. That's not an accepted designated.
Very few colleges here in Canada are accepting. But maybe I suggest karna go for IELTS or SELP.
No, see the colleges can take a separate English examination, right? Yeah. They don't have to follow the rules of Immigration Canada, but for the purposes of immigration, you must use the designated agencies that are governed by Immigration Canada, that are allowed by Immigration Canada. The most major ones is the IELTS, International English Language Testing System, and the SELP.
SELP भी मतलब Canada ਦਾ ਹੀ ਆਪਣਾ test.
Correct.
And SELP ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਹੀ ਐਕਸੈਪਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ
ਕਰੈਕਟ
ਸੋ ਹੋਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਨੇ ਆ ਇਹਦੇ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਹੀ ਕੁਝ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਮੈਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਇਨ ਬੋਥ ਵਾਲਾ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਸੋ ਦਿਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸਾਰੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਵਾਲੇ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਰਾਈਟ
doesn't matter except you must be outside Quebec. You must be outside Quebec in order for this program, especially under the international graduate stream. So there are 3 other programs that are Quebec related, right? And French speaking related. I know most of your viewers are not French speaking people, but I'm going to say this. If you speak French, you have an excellent opportunity right now to become a permanent resident. There is no cap for French speaking individuals. And if you do speak French, I'll encourage you either to contact my office or a legal professional to get a little bit more information about that. But that is an excellent program for French-speaking individuals. We're not going to go too much, I guess, into that topic side of things. So, but you must be outside the province of Quebec. You cannot be residing.
Quebec apply
not through the programs we were just discussing. Quebec does have their own criteria that are set up. You need to go through the Quebec system. I don't practice law in the province of Quebec, but there are programs available in Quebec.
So what documents do we need when we apply for this application?
As of right now, again, the document checklist has not been released, right? We can only go by, and what I'm going by is general permanent resident guidelines, right? And like we see with the permanent residency, you have your generic application, which is the IMM 008, and most people who've ever applied through the permanent resident process know that application well. And what they're always looking for is your family information for sure, right? Whether or not you're admissible, so criminal record check. Go get your criminal record checks. If you're
so ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ criminal record ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ when we are getting invitation?
I believe the criminal record check. See, now here's the thing. Is it going to go by invitation or not? We don't know. We don't know if this program. Now, if you want to ask me my personal opinion, are they going to tack it through the express entry system? Maybe. We don't know. So is this going to go by invitation? We don't know at this exact moment. So what my advice is, especially right now, given the pandemic, the RCMP criminal record checks, everybody is very booked. It's going by appointment only. Go and get that done. In your countries of residence, especially agar tusi India cho aaye ho, India is getting through big problems right now. Major issues. Pakistan, major issues. To get these documents may be very difficult. I'm not sure. Go and explore that. Figure that out. Get those documents ready. And hopefully before May 6th. Now, you know, another question you brought up. Will this program block up really quickly?
Yeah.
The ones who have their documents will be first to entry, right? So one major thing that any immigrant will have ahead of anybody else applying to this programs are ones who have their IELTS ready, their valid tests, right? Meaning they were done within the last 2 years. That's the general requirement as of right now. Okay. Will IELTS be accepted 2 years old? Here's another thing. I don't know. They might even tell you only 1-year-old IELTS, right? In the policy. See, general immigration.
We know nothing about it.
Well, general immigration guidelines do suggest that 2 years old IELTS is valid, right?
Yeah.
Now that's a suggestion, I'll have to say. Now, even when you're telling me that lots of professionals are advising get this, get that. Yes, get your IELTS. My advice will be, hopefully they're a year old, right? If they're 2 years, according to the regular rules of immigration, yes, that's true. Will they change something in this program? I don't know for sure, but hopefully you have that. If they are 2 years old, I'll still advise, go book the test, okay? Your criminal record checks within 1 year, right? According to the general rules of immigration, 1 year old criminal record checks. I hope that stays the same. Get your criminal record checks done.
So हजे सानू ये भी नहीं पता कि 2 year मतलब 2 year old accept करेंगे या नहीं. Maybe they can say.
I mean, जैसा तुसी कह रहे हो कि you know how it's been happening. Yes, that's always been the general rule, right? अगर उन्होंने कुछ और करनी है उन, I don't know.
We don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
May 6th. After May 6th, we'll know everything. But the best advice I can give you is get that paperwork in order.
So. ਆਪਾਂ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰਤਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸਿੰਗ ਟਾਈਮ ਦਾ ਕੁਝ ਦੱਸਿਓ ਨਾ
Processing time ਹੁਣ ਤੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ processing time ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਮਤਲਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. They're not telling you anything about processing. Right now I can tell you Immigration Canada is in a huge backlog. The one issue all my clients are having right now and the complaints I'm hearing day in day out, it's taking long.
One more thing कि जिन्हों ने पहला अप्लाई किया होया, like मेरी एक फ्रेंड है उन्हें वर्क परमिट अप्लाई किया सी last year March.
That's a long time.
And she got it now in Feb. Okay, और मैं अप्लाई किया सी November and I got it in January.
I have some clients that applied last year March and they still haven't gotten it yet. And I've contacted Immigration Canada personally with the client on the phone and they've said, look, your application is fine. It's under review. It's in process. There's nothing more we can tell you and you just have to wait. Even if you contact the Immigration Canada helpline today, one of the first messages that are going to pop up, we cannot give you a direct answer on how long the processing of your application will be.
Okay, same case जेड़ा मैं तुहानू अपने फ्रेंड दा दस्या. Last year Jan च apply किया and हले तक no response, but कई ओदे साडे friends ने apply किया November च they got their PR.
The other thing, be careful about the work permits. Now that we're talking about work permits, Immigration Canada is saying that they may have gotten lost in the mail as well. Always remember one thing, Immigration Canada does not use a courier service. They use regular mail. It's free for the federal government because Canada Post is owned by them, so they use Canada Post. But what you have to be worried about is that your work permits could be lost in the mail and you are allowed to apply for a reprint of the work permit. So if it has taken as long as what you're saying January to now, I mean, it's not unreasonable given the times, but I suggest if it's going 6 to 8 months, 8 months or longer, you may want to consider for a reprint. And that's something you can contact your local legal professional or you can go online to the Immigration Canada online site and look into how to do that.
So, एक किसी का question सी कि self-pip करिए या IELTS करिए? Both are same, right?
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I've done the IELTS, I've done the CELPIP, I've done the MELAB, the Michigan International English Language Assessment. I might be biased because I'm born and raised in Canada. I've studied in Canada. I felt that all three tests are testing the exact same thing. That was my opinion about it. I'm not obviously a professional in education, except for the fact I've been a professor in the past. But the way I've looked at all three of the testing systems, they're all one and the same, and they're all testing for the same categories.
So, what are the requirements? कितने band चाहिए सानू IELTS या की score चाहिए self-pip?
For the international student stream, and get this, only a level 5. Only a level 5, which is probably one of the lowest levels that Immigration Canada has ever requested for permanent residents. So they've made it extremely easy on that side of things. Aside from the international graduate stream, under the work professional stream, it's a level 4, CLB4. In all the band areas. Reading, speaking, listening, and writing.
So any idea CLB4 कितना होगा या CLB5 कितना होगा?
CLB5, so CLB5 converts to an overall 5, right? The CLB4 will convert to an overall 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So IELTS and it's about 5 bands we need in IELTS, right?
Yes, correct.
So, any questions related? Anything else you want to tell us about this?
Well, I mean, we've gotten into the majority of the nitty-gritty in terms of getting your paperwork ready, getting all things moving forward, being prepared for May 6th. Knowledge is key. having, you know, either a retained professional ready to go on your file or being fully competent on the file before May 6th is what's going to help you guys out going forward. I mean, aside from this, immigration in a general nutshell as of right now, since the pandemic has started, we've had a lot of issues in terms of the essential travel ban, right? So a lot of people cannot come into the country at this moment. With that, a lot of different immigration programs are sort of on halt. I want to let you guys know, spousal sponsorships, you can still do them year-round. There's nothing that's stopping the spousal sponsorship process. So if people are thinking, oh, I don't want to sponsor my spouse due to this pandemic, you don't have to worry about that. People are, I mean, I still have clients who are traveling back to their home countries. They are getting married and they are doing the spousal sponsorship routes. The refugees system is still in place. They are taking refugee clients. I'd like to let your viewers know that we do specialize in refugee cases, deportations especially, and also appeals and the sponsorship process as well outside of these programs.
So travel ban, the koi idea ki
how long?
Yeah, how long?
Look, if you would have asked me March 1st that they were going to shut the country down for 3 months, I would have said, no way, it can't happen. If you were to ask me March, 2020 that they were going to shut the courts until today, I would have said never. It never happened. If you would have told me in March, 2020 property prices are going to go triple in value, I would have said never. It can't happen. Not during an infectious disease pandemic. But look, records are breaking, things are happening. As far as I can tell you, with this essential travel ban, for as long as the numbers are up, for as long as our hospitals are overwhelmed, for as long as our social healthcare system is overwhelmed, I can only see this continuing, right? I hope the end is soon. I hope the end is near, but I've always said it, especially with my clients, even when preparing applications. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
So one thing I heard about is ki Canada government keh rahi hai ki we'll take only immigrants jinna kole from India and Pakistan jinna kole vaccination jinna ne karayi hui hai. Thonu kuch pata hai bhai?
Have you heard the term false news? I don't know. like fake news, right? Like it's all people are always speaking about these different things that are going to come up. It may be mandatory. It may be mandatory that prior to receiving your permanent residence, you have to get the vaccine done to coming to Canada. As of right now, there's no policy or guideline in place stating that it's mandatory to have the vaccine before you can land in Canada as a permanent resident. In the future, is this something they're going to do? Yes. You cannot travel to Canada at this point, I don't think, unless if you have been tested for COVID-19. I don't believe in the essential travel ban that the vaccine has become a requirement as yet. I can go into policy later on. It's possible. People do like to talk about different things. Has it become law or policy as of today? No, it hasn't.
As of now, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਐਦਾਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਇੰਟਰਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟਸ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਭਰਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਵਾਈ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ right but ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੜਿਆ
I haven't seen there's nothing in the law as of today's date
because I saw it on one Instagram page ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਐਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਪਾਤਾ ਤੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਸਾਰੇ and it was Trudeau ਨੇ ਪਾਈ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਟਵੀਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਐਦਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਫੇਕ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ
must have been because I haven't seen anything from the PMO's office indicating that as yet and it wouldn't come from the PMO's office to tell you the honest truth it would come from the Minister of Immigration right
okay so or
public safety. It could come from the Minister of Public Safety as well.
After immigration, the service provide kar diyo sara kuch.
Well, like I said, well, we specialize in deportations. I'll say that we're a fully functioning immigration firm. We handle all aspects of immigration law. There is not an element of immigration or an application I have not submitted, except for this new interim pathway, because that's going to happen starting May 6th. I don't believe there's any aspect of immigration I haven't touched, advised, or submitted to Immigration Canada. We specialize in deportations, refugees, and appeals, and permanent residency applications.
So, ਹਾਂਜੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਪਾਊਸ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ ਆ ਸਾਰੀ ਫਾਈਲਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਲੱਗ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਕਈਆਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ 'ਚ ਡਾਊਟ ਆ ਕਿ ਬੰਦ ਆ ਫਾਈਲ ਆਪਣੀ ਵਰਕ ਪਰਮਿਟ ਵਗੈਰਾ everything is open you can apply ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਐਂਡ ਹੋਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਫਿਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ ਨੰਬਰ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਦਿਖ ਜੂਗਾ ਡਿਸਕ੍ਰਿਪਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਸਾਰੇ ਲਿੰਕ ਦਿਖ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਸਟਾਗ੍ਰਾਮ ਮਿਲ ਜੇਗੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਐਂਡ YouTube ਚੈਨਲ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਛੇਤੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ
Well, we are going to be launching a YouTube channel and we're going to start talking about immigration. I would like to start doing segments on explaining the different immigration processes and how immigration applications work. And what I'm actually going to be teaching in some of these, I'm going to be teaching you how to file your own applications in certain categories and what the visa officers are looking for. And hopefully I'll be able to share with you my 15 years of experience.
So, our number WhatsApp te bhi hai thoda, right?
Of course.
ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ WhatsApp ਕਰ ਲਓ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਰਿਲੇਟਡ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਐਂਡ ਆ QR ਕੋਡ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਜੂਗਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਸਟੋਰੀਜ਼ ਤੇ Instagram ਸਟੋਰੀਜ਼ ਤੇ ਆਈ ਸਭ ਸੀਗਾ ਹੋਰ ਕੁਝ ਅਤਰ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਚ ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਗੋ ਔਨ देयर ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਆਲਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲਿੰਕ ਮਿਲ ਜੂਗਾ ਥੱਲੇ
We also operate under the Canada Gateway Africa. We're also located in East Africa. We're also located in Vietnam. Just to let you guys know, maybe some of your viewers are out there as well. I'm not sure. But if you have anybody touring around, or if you're from there, we also have offices in Ho Chi Minh City and Nairobi.
Okay, in Africa भी मतलब थोड़ा Canada तो बाहर भी है.
Correct, and we operate under the name Canada Gateway.
Canada Gateway, okay. So that's all for today.
Thank you.
बहुत जल्दी ਆਪਾਂ एक लाइव सेशन भी कर रहे हैं Instagram ਤੇ मैं 2 लाइव सेशंस एक ਤਾਂ ऐसे वीकेंड ਤੇ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਪੁੱਛ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਲਾਈਵ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਚ ਐਂਡ thank you very much.
Thank you for coming as well. I guess we'll dab for now, right?
Yeah, because it's COVID.
There you go.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.